If you have your day 47 worksheet, you've come to the right video. Good. Let's start right out with capitalization. There's no new information today. The actor played a dictatorial Southern politician in a great film, All the King's Men. All right, well, we know the first word in a sentence is always capitalized, so the T in the would be capitalized. The actor played a dictatorial Southern politician. The S in Southern would be capitalized because it denotes a region. East, South, West, North, all that would be capitalized. So S in Southern is capitalized. And then All the King's Men would be just like a book title, although it's the title of a movie. So the A in all, the K in kings, and the M in men. So these are what words should be capitalized. All right, next we have punctuation. Use a comma to clarify a sentence. For example, with the holiday stockings were hung. That's kind of hard to understand what they mean. So, clarifying the sentence, they add a comma after holiday, and then it reads, with the holiday, stockings were hung. Clarified it a little bit. So let's take a look at the sentence that they want us to punctuate, and I'm betting that there's going to be some clarification needed. Yes, after the service, men and women gathered to discuss low-income burials. Okay, I was clarifying it in my brain even as I read it. So yes, after the service, men and women gathered to discuss low-income burials. You could probably hear from my voice where the commas need to go. So it would be yes, comma, after the service, comma, for clarification, men and women gathered to discuss low-income burials. Low and income are words that are linked. So you would have a hyphen between low and income. And then burials would have a period at the end of it because you never forget end of sentence punctuation, right? Okay, so here's what we've got. Yes, after the service, men and women gathered to discuss low-income burials. I bet that was a very interesting conversation, and I would like to have known what the service was about, that afterwards they felt impelled to discuss low-income burials. All right, let's take a look at the next section, phrases and clauses. Remember, a prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with the object of a preposition. Somewhere in your folders, you should still have that list of prepositional phrases. If you've gotten rusty on them, pull them back out and review them. Knowing your prepositional phrases makes a huge difference when it comes to doing grammar. A participle phrase begins with a present participle or a past participle, and then they give you an example of each. Flying a kite, which is a present participle, flying is the present participle, and covered with mud, covered is the past participle. For regular verbs, regular past participle verbs, they always end in ed. Okay, but by now you've gotten that list of the irregular verb endings, and we'll actually be practicing those in just a few short moments. So covered is from a regular form of a past participle. An infinitive phrase begins with to plus the verb. For example, to leave early. And finally, a verb phrase is an auxiliary verb, aka helping verb. So helping verb is the same thing as an auxiliary verb, plus a main verb. And the example here is must eat. So you might want to take your highlighter. It's been a while since I've told you to grab your highlighter. But if I was you, I would probably highlight the word, the prepositional phrase, participle phrase, infinitive phrase, and verb phrase, so that you're reviewing in your brain those different types of phrases. Now, let's follow the directions carefully. Write the type of phrase listed below. PR for a prepositional phrase, PP for a participial phrase, IP for an infinitive phrase, and VP for a verb phrase. All right, so A, to lose your cool. All right, that would be an example of to plus a verb, which means it is an infinitive phrase, which you would write IP in the blank for. Next, we have tossed to and fro. Tossed is a past participle. It's a regular form because it ends in ed. So if you see a past participle, you'll know, oh, that's a participle phrase. That would be a PP. C, coloring her hair. Coloring is a present participle. So again, we have a participle phrase, PP. And then finally, we have along a deserted street. Hopefully, you recognize that along is a preposition. And so what we have here is a prepositional phrase, PP. All right, the one that we didn't have was a VP. So bonus alert, write a verb phrase for me. Mark it VP, write it right here, and when I find it and see it, I will give you your bonus point. Okay, next, we have parts of speech. Select the past participle, underline the verb phrase twice. Okay, oops, I have it right here. You would want to grab your list that I gave you in class, except yours are green. And it has the irregular verbs in the present, past, and past participle form. Because in this section that they've given you, all of the past participles are irregular. They don't just end in ed, which always makes it easy. So these are ones that you're going to have to study and look at the worksheet to figure out. So, have you drank or drunk pomegranate juice? Okay, if you're not sure, grab your sheet, go down and find drink, drank, drunk. Under past participle, it says have drunk. All right, so the correct answer then would be have drunk. Have you drunk pomegranate juice? So they want you to underline the verb phrase. So you're going to underline have twice and drunk twice. Next sentence. He has went off with her friends, or he has gone off with her friends. Okay, again, let's take a look at the past participle list. I can start looking for gone in the past participle, or I can start looking for went. I'm going to start reading down my list, and I find, oh, look at, here we go, past participle, have gone. Went is the past tense, but the past participle is have gone. So the correct answer here is he has gone off with her friends. So you're going to underline has twice and gone twice. Next, we should have swam later, or we should have swum later. All right, this is on irregular verbs list 2 because it begins with an S. And you can start looking down in the S area and see if you can find something that looks like either swam or swum. And look here, I see in the past participle column, have swum. Swam is the past tense, but they want past participle, so your answer is have swum. So you would underline have and swum as the correct answer. All right, then our last example is several girls must have rode their bikes or ridden their bikes. Again, let's take a look at list 2, and let's see if we can find something that looks like ride or ridden. And there it is right at the top, have ridden. Okay, rode is the past tense, but it's not the past participle, and they asked us for the past participle. So the correct answer is have ridden. You will underline have twice and ridden twice. Okay, so here are your correct answers. Have drunk, has gone, have swum, have ridden. All right, that brings us to sentence combining. Go ahead and combine those 3 sentences into one fabulous sentence with end punctuation as needed. Thank you. God bless you.